The Colts are on a roll and focused on finally winning in Foxborough. New England, Indianapolis. Two teams with the same question. Which team will have the answer today?
It's game time, baby.
Welcome you to Foxborough for the matchup everyone's been longing to see. They met week 1, in fact the first game of this season, and of course last January in the AFC Championship, but the conditions have suddenly turned eerily similar to last January's conditions when they played in the snow. The forecast all week had kind of led people to believe it would be clear conditions, but in fact it's expected now to snow throughout for the Colts and the Patriots in this AFC divisional playoff game. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz. Welcome again to the NFL on CBS. So many irresistible matchups here, beginning with the quarterbacks. The record-shattering year for Peyton Manning. And, of course, everyone's heard the story all week. He's never won at New England, 0-6 in his career. And then you have Tom Brady, so overlooked this week leading up to it. But he, in fact, has never lost to the Colts in his career, 5-0 as a starter against Indianapolis. And my friend alongside here, Phil Simms, another one of the matchups we love at this great scene, great matchup, the running backs. Corey Dillon gets to play in a playoff game for the first time in his career.
Yeah, and he's excited about it, Jim, and what a trade the Patriots made with the Cincinnati Bengals to bring him up here. Of course, we know he is a tough runner, but he has changed the football team, changed the way they play offense. They're more reliant on the run. It's made them tougher. They're less reliant on the short pass. And Corey Dillon, in a year when their defense is beat up, running the football has helped that Patriots defense.
Edgerrin James rushed for 142 yards week 1 of this season, but he had 2 crucial fumbles inside the 20, one of which was right at the goal line.
Well, look out for Edgerrin James today. He could be a big part of this game. Running the football, again, a guy that has the size and the speed to make those plays. And what's important about him, last week against the Denver Broncos, a blitzing football team, 11 times he was asked to pick up a blitzer, 11 times he did it. He kept him off of Peyton Manning. And just a little note for today's game, look for Edgerrin James. It's possible that he could catch a lot of short passes and be a big factor.
All right, for the Patriots secondary, Tyrone Poole, Ty Law have been out really most of the season, but has been so heavily discussed and scrutinized this week. We visited with Rodney Harrison of that New England secondary. What about that secondary?
Well, Rodney Harrison doesn't mince words. He says, look, we're taking this game down to its simplest form. We are going to hit and out-hit the Indianapolis Colts. It's about being physical with the wide receivers. They did it last year. It worked. They hope to repeat it this year.
All right, our UPS reliable game points. And Phil, you say for the Colts, Peyton on the spot. You don't just mean here the fact he's on the spot trying to win up here. You're talking about in the pocket, staying on the spot.
That's right. Last year they made him move, and when they made him move, he threw 3 interceptions. So again, pressure him, make him move around. He's not as good throwing the football.
All right, and for the Patriots, your favorite saying, rip it up.
Rip it up, big man. That's what the Patriots want to do. It's in Foxborough. It's snowing. It's about being tough. That explains the New England Patriots.
All right, the Colts have just won the toss, and they will receive when we come back for this AFC divisional playoff game in just a moment. South champion Colts, the AFC East champion, and Super Bowl champion Patriots about to go, with the winner taking on Pittsburgh next week in the Steel City. Let's bring in Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Jim, so many side stories, so many distractions that it could be, because this is a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. What have you told your players all week to keep them keyed in on today?
We just said we have to worry about the things that count. There's a lot of things that don't matter. The score, previous games, the weather, the field. We just got to concentrate on playing and concentrate on the Patriots.
Coach, thank you. Jim?
All right, and thank you, Tony Dungy, for your time right before kick. One thing that does go his way, though, right away, is winning the flip in the last 3 games against the Patriots. New England won the toss and scored on the game's first possession, but this time we'll see Indianapolis with it first. And Adam Vinatieri kicking to Dominique Rhodes. Tony Dungy told Peyton Manning after that opening game loss, we blew our chance to play them at home in the playoffs. We'll see them again in the postseason, and here we go. with Rhodes running it from the 4. Rhodes out to the 27 with Larry Izzo making the hit after a run out of 25 yards. Peyton Manning on Monday named the league's most valuable player, and he's been open about it all week. His play in the AFC final last year, he said, I played like a dog. He's ready to make up for that. There's Tarek Glenn lining up on the left side. He's going to the Pro Bowl after Willie Anderson of the Bengals had to step back this week. As you see, Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator. Let's see how it'll work in Marvin Harrison. Harrison going against a lawless secondary with Ty Law on injured reserve. They use the stretch play to open it up, and Teddy Bruschi brings it to a halt. Edgerrin James, a gain of a yard. Romeo Crennel, heavily favored to be the next coach of the Cleveland Browns, but this defensive coordinator starting Jarvis Green in place of Richard Seymour, who's inactive with a knee injury. Willie McGinnis always seems to come up big against the Colts, and Rodney Harrison said it's been an irritating week with all the questions about how you're going to stop Peyton Manning. 2nd and 9. They open up with 2 running plays, and James this time scoots for about 5. 3rd and 4 coming. And Phil, let's take a look at your spotlight.
Well, you talk about this Colts offense today, Jim. Be prepared for the unexpected. They know New England comes up with a new wrinkle on defense every time, and we just got to adjust to it. The Patriots defense, well, you heard us during the opening. It's all about when you get a chance, hit the receiver, hit the running back, even hit the blocker when he comes out to make the block on you.
It is 3rd and 4, and Bill Belichick's team brings in Troy Brown, who is right on Brandon Stokely on a slot to the left. And Manning fires over to Marcus Pollard, and a great tackle on that side by Randall Gay, and the Colts 3 and out to open the game.
Well, you talked about winning the opening coin toss, the field conditions, the crowd, the wind's blowing, and the Patriots come out and they do a tremendous job starting the game, stopping Edgerrin James twice. 3rd down, coming up with a big stop.
Hunter Smith, 2nd in the league in punting average. Over 45 yards a boot this season. He will kick it away to Troy Brown with Justin Snow to snap it back. The spiral, fair catch signal, and Troy Brown will set up the Patriot offense at the 27. Here comes Tom Brady in the season opener this year. 334 yards, 3 touchdowns against Indianapolis. Charlie Weiss's offense with Matt Light on the left side. Key matchup heading up against Dwight Freeney. And there's Corey Dillon, who traveled, 8 seasons and almost 10,000 yards before he makes it into his first NFL playoff game. They'll come out with 3 receivers to open the game. Troy Brown was just used not only on special teams and on defense, but he is in the slot to the left.
Tom Brady changing the play right away. First snap of the game.
Pass play all the way, and Brady fires and hits Deion Branch for a first down at the 41. A quick gain of 15 for New England.
Well, you talk so much, you hear it all the time when you watch games. The Indianapolis Colts, they came up and they played a run defense. So Tom Brady has said, to heck with that. If you're going to play the run, then I'm going to throw it to the outside. And when you play a run defense, it means one-on-one coverage on the outside. And Deion Branch, he's fast. You got to respect it. Wide open. Good throw by Tom Brady.
Patrick Pass, a running back, is set wide to the left on first down for New England. Jason David was trying to defend Deion Branch, but Patriots come out throwing on their first 2 plays, dump it across the middle, and that's Corey Dillon for 3, hit by David Thornton. Colts defense of defensive coordinator Ron Meeks. They'll give up yardage, but they are active. They'll force turnovers and get a lot of sacks, and this is the sack king in the league, Freeney. Rob Morris, according to Coach Meeks, he's had a big year and better understanding of what we're doing. And there's a rookie in the secondary, Bob Sanders, getting the start. So the Colts come out running, but the Patriots come out throwing. It's 2nd down and 7 for New England. pass and Dillon in the backfield, and it's Corey Dillon. And his first playoff carry goes for 2 yards. And Phil, what about weather concerns? You know, just a day ago, most folks around here believe that this weather system that we're in the middle of right now was not going to arrive until well after the game. Does this have a big impact on the game?
Well, I don't think it's going to impact the quarterbacks that much. Come on, Tom Brady, the Patriots, they play in bad weather almost every home game up here. And Peyton Manning, even though he threw 4 interceptions last year in this championship game in similar conditions, I thought he controlled the football, believe it or not, had a good grasp of it. So they do a wonderful job taking care of the football. It doesn't get that wet, and they should do okay in these conditions.
Well, they're going to get a delay of the game penalty here. Delay of game will back them up to 3rd and 10.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Bill Carolla is our referee, and you talk about the Patriots, certainly an advantage for New England if you look through the years, and that snow game against the Raiders, holding that offense to 230 yards, but far worse conditions there.
Yeah, you just need to put bad weather always when they play up here in the playoffs. That's what it is. Bill Belichick laughed. He goes, well, we see the sun about twice a year. It really has been something else the last couple seasons, what they have faced.
3rd and 10, and it's Brady to Givens, well short of the first. Dumped it underneath, and Vaughn Hutchins brought it to an end, and we will see the Patriots also.
Well, good job by that Colts defense. Dwight Freeney changed the way he played. He usually as a right defensive end, he came over and played against the right tackle on the other side, Brandon Gorin. I would think the Colts like that matchup better because Matt Light, the left tackle, has handled him pretty well up here the last couple games.
So the Patriots also forced a punt on their first series, and Josh Miller kicks it away to Troy Walters. He's going to let it go, and it bounces in for a touchback. Peyton Manning in his second series will start at the 20-yard, and Indianapolis about to start this second series from the 20-yard line. Jim Nance with Bill Sims, Bonnie Bernstein. Talking with Peyton Manning last night, he talked about how this team was going to have to be patient and disciplined early on offense to try to see what New England's going to give them today, what their game plan might be.
Patience means stay with the running game longer than they have in the past. That's what he mainly talked about.
He faked the run, fire across the middle, and was looking for Pollard again with Brewski and Harrison in the area.
Well, being patient too, Jim. You want to run the football, and why they want to run it, the Colts are terrific at play action fakes and throwing it down the middle. It's the #1 thing you always hear about it. The teams talk about when they play the Colts. The Patriots very concerned and very aware of those passes down the middle.
Isn't it interesting going back to last year's AFC final, the last 2 plays? You know, Pollard was such a focus. They thought he was being held, changed some rules. Here is James on 2nd and 10 for about 7, running behind Dallas Clark. And the first 2 pass plays today for Peyton go in the direction of the big tight end Marcus Pollard. 3rd and 3 on the way, and going back to that game last year, it really brought about a change, a point of emphasis with beyond 5 yards in the line of scrimmage. New England thinks it's called the Patriot rule.
Well, we talked to Bill Polian last night, and Jim, that emphasis on the rule was already in place. It had been happening all year. In the Patriot game, it was on national TV, so it really brought it to light.
Oh, and 3rd and 3, Dallas Clark. It went right through his fingers. Roman Pfeiffer was defending. Looked like a catchable ball for Dallas Clark with a big game last week.
It was definitely a catchable ball, and what you've got to get used to. You're the visiting player. You're used to playing indoors. Now it's colder. There's a little snow. The ground is different, and sometimes it takes a wide receiver or somebody who handles the football a little longer to get used to it.
So this offense that piled up well over 500 yards last week and again looked unstoppable. 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. Hunter Smith's kick. Going to be run back now by Troy Brown, and he scoots free and finally grabbed by the ankles at the 45-yard line by Joseph Jefferson. Troy Brown. Remember the run back he had in the playoffs at Pittsburgh 3 years back? He's doing it all again.
Trucks and SUVs, we are professional grade. And by Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Well, the Patriots will begin this series in Colt territory. Did he get away with something here? Troy Brown almost raised the hand. Tony Dungy wasn't happy. He complained. So wait a minute, the hand was up.
It was close, but it was not. I thought he did not get that hand up far enough to signify the fair catch. Patrick Pass with an excellent block knocked 2 Colt defenders down and allowed Troy Brown to make the return.
Troy Brown's been in 2 plays on defense, a couple of special teams, and a big run back here sets him up at the 44, and he has started the game in a 3-receiver set. The pitch to Dillon, and this is going to be a tackle for about a 3-yard loss by Josh Williams. What about the Sim spotlight when the Patriots have the football?
Well, the Patriots, they heard so much about the Colts offense this year. They said, don't forget about us. We want to know, can the Colts score with us? That's kind of their attitude. The Colts defense, we talked to Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator. He goes, Charlie Weiss is always coming out with something new. We got to be flexible and adjust to it.
All right, Patrick Pass. And he is getting some attention. We'll take a break here in Foxborough.
Here's your Bud Light.
Thank you. But Corey Dillon lands on him, and he was helped to the sideline. It's 2nd and 12. Dillon tackled behind the line of scrimmage on 1st down. Troy Brown in a slot to the left. Setting up the screen for Dillon. And this well defended. And another loss on the play. Raheem Brock was to him first, and Monte Rager finished him off. His 3rd and 13 on the way.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Dwight Freeney is outside. Watch him against Matt Light. I know it's a screen play, but Tom Brady doesn't even really have a chance to set it up and fool the defense. The speed of the Colts defense, very evident so far. Last week, look at Dwight Freeney. Last week, I thought it was the most physical game that I've ever watched the Colts watch their defense play. They really hit the Denver Broncos hard.
3rd and 13, and Brady across the middle and incomplete. They were looking for Troy Brown, and that ball tipped in the air by Gary Brackett and Nick Harper.
And when you can stop the running plays and the screens, what it does, you play into the Colts' hands. Boy, look at that shot into the snow. It's tough for the quarterbacks, but on 3rd and long, the defense is built to rush the passer, and Tom Brady's not going to have long on those in those type of situations.
Now let's see what Josh Miller can do. His first punt went back for a touchback. 19 punts this season inside the 20 versus only 6 total touchbacks, but he's got a pair of them today. Not what you want, but a flag is down.
It's interesting. Everybody expected a high-scoring game and wide open. The conditions. And, of course, both defenses off to outstanding starts.
Goes along a little bit of what Peyton told us they would do.
Holding during the kick, number 26, receiving team. It'll be 10-yard penalty from the 20-yard line. Receivers will keep the ball. 1st down.
Manning and company will be backed up to the 10-yard line. Wayne Bacon on the hold. We've had 4 possessions, only 1 first down in this game so far.
2 doors. 4
Supercharged for 2005.
Well, we remind you that Boomer Esiason, Shannon Sharp, and my partner Phil Simms all report on the games leading up to the Super Bowl and all the stories. Superbowl.com is the site. See what they have to say at superbowl.com. First down from the 10-yard line. Off play action. Edgerrin James with some room and a nice block up ahead as Rick DeMulling pushed aside Randall Gay, and it picks up 15.
Yeah, really good play call by the Indianapolis Colts. Tom Moore, you got an aggressive defense. They're really being more physical than you are right now. So what do? You take advantage of it. You throw the screen play. Jim, you said it. Rick DeMulling outside. Nice block. It gives Edgerrin James some extra yards.
There's Tom Moore, who talks to Peyton about staying in phase. That was a big saying this week for them. Edgerrin for a quick 5 to the 30. What does that mean, staying in phase?
Well, I mean, you've talked about it so much already. Look, first down, stay with the running game a little more. Everybody knows the Patriots are concerned about the pass. They're beat up secondary. They ran the ball up here the first game of the year well. They want to even be more patient with it this time.
Dallas Clark in a slot to the left. Vrabel threatening the blitz. And they go up the middle for 3. Edgerrin James, 3rd and 2 coming.
Now, you know, you talk about this defense and you know, the injuries have changed the Patriots defense so far this year. They're not as creative, I guess is the best way to say it. And Peyton Manning, when he talked to us last night, Jim, what did he say? It's not complicated. They do almost the same thing every single play against us. It's that they're good players. They're well taught. That's what makes it so difficult to go against.
And you saw a glimpse of Richard Seymour, who is inactive for the Patriots, the Pro Bowl defensive tackle. 3rd down and 2. Will Peyton get one of the members of that receiving corps in play here for the first time? The trio of heroes. Flings it up, and pass is ruled complete near midfield for 18 yards to Marvin Harrison.
Something that Peyton Manning did not do well last year against this New England defense is throw well on the run. This time, almost on a full sprint, puts it right on the money to Marvin Harrison.
Boy, did they get to the line quickly here so it could not be reviewed. Manning was very concerned they may take another look at that, so he hustled his team. There's always no huddle around here, but this time it was almost like a spike type mentality.
They know it. They have a little signal. The whole team knows about it. Tom Moore said something in Peyton's helmet to tell him there could be a review. They run up to the line, call a play. They don't give the other team a chance.
So that 18-yard reception's in the books, and the 1-yard carry by James. It's 2nd down and 9. Play action across the middle. Stokely in and out of his hands. He got walloped by Eugene Wilson. 3rd and 9 on the way.
Well, look, you play against this defense, they're usually looking at the quarterback. That means they're playing zone coverage. So when you go across the middle and the football is coming your way, just know that you're going to get hit. That time, a big hit by Eugene Wilson knocks the ball loose.
Troy Walters is in as an extra receiver on 3rd and 9. Stokely in the slot there has Troy Brown eyeing him. That's 2 drops by the Colts. Quick fire, incomplete, and again Stokely had a hand on it, and Brown broke it up.
How about that? Wide receivers against each other. Troy Brown, Bill Belichick said this week, in the slot. This is the toughest place to cover a receiver in the National Football League. That is some job. But Bill Belichick says every week he just gets better at it. He learns more. And that play was evident that he has learned and gotten much better.
And Troy Brown drops deep. And Hunter Smith kick. He didn't catch it all, but a most generous bounce to the 16, Justin Snow, who snapped it, downs it. Peyton Manning and the Colts. 3 series, no points. The game is scoreless. First quarter.
From the minute my son was born, I knew I wanted to be that dad. The guy who can show you how to throw a perfect spiral, fixing bikes and skateboard ramps, going to ball games. My father was that dad, and now I've become that dad. That's why I bought a Saturn.
Introducing the 7-passenger 2005 Saturn Relay with the security of OnStar and DVD player standard. Right now, every 2005 Relay is available with 5-year, 60,000-mile worry-free ownership.
Say it with me, say it with me. Here we go. Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's go.
Grill.
Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's
$80.
Go. Cut that meat.
Sandwich.
Cut that meat.
$6.
Cut that meat.
Gas.
And it's full.
$20.
You're my favorite accountant. Tommy, please. Johnny, please show my fantasy team. You're my favorite worker.
Fans.
Yes. Woo!
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Okay. Never gonna wash his hand. Right here, look at that.
Is this the help desk?
Yes, it is.
We're researchers.
We're close to a breakthrough. How can we help?
It'll take us 900 years to crunch the numbers.
There's too much data. You need Gene.
Gene?
What can Gene do?
You can sequence the human genome, fold proteins, and wrangle quantum chemistry.
You can do all that? Oh, I'm not Gene. This is Gene.
Gene's a computer.
Fastest in the world. Can he help us?
That's why he's here.
Help desk.
Tomorrow, a civilian ride-along turns into one man's nightmare.
Freeze! Got a real-life Bonnie and Clyde on our hands.
CSI Miami, a new episode tomorrow.
1 week from today, get ready for a whole new kind of crime solving. Two brothers, one's an FBI agent, the other's a math genius, and their secret weapon for cracking cases, numbers. Don't miss the premiere of Numbers next Sunday after the AFC Championship game on CBS. The draw on first down, Corey Dillon for 5 yards to the 21. Von Hutchins on the hit.
Well, the draw play, it's such a good play against this Colts defense. And why is it? Even though it's first down, they still play pass. So if the front guys are playing pass, they're going up the field. That creates some running lanes. So if the quarterback, when they delay it, it gives the running back a really good chance to get to the linebackers and pick up some good yards.
Second down and 5. It's Dillon again. Dillon slicing his way. First down, 29-yard line. Corey Dillon behind Matt Light. And a gain of 8.
Well, this time a little different for this New England offense. Tom Brady, instead of going up to the line of scrimmage and just trying to get the perfect play, they go with the draw on first down, and then on second down he goes with a quick snap count. And forget all this. What are they going to do? Hey, line up, hit them in the mouth, and let's run the football.
And Charlie Weiss, what will he do here on first down? He'll use Dillon again. Dillon getting a nice rhythm going behind Brandon Gorin, this time for another 7.
Yeah, it is. Corey Dillon has done so many wonderful things for this football team. Look at the rushing offense. Yards per game, where it ranks in the NFL, and yards per rush, all that has gone up. And you know, too, also, it's changed the pace of how the Patriots play. It helps out the defense, Jim, we talked about already, that's beat up. When you run the football, you eat up the clock. Your defense sits on the sideline, and they stay rested.
On second down and 3, they go with Kevin Falk, his first action of the game, and he has a big running lane for 13 yards.
Boy, nice blocking up front by the Patriots. It's a quick draw, and they go on the first sound. They catch them off guard and not ready on defense. And up front, good blocking. Joe Andruzzi, Steve and Neal, good job. Dan Copen, the center, gets out there too and gets a good, and the wide receivers down the field doing their job too.
33 yards on this drive for New England, all on the ground. They stay with Falk in the backfield, play action fake, and a flag. Kevin Falk and Robbie Abdullah, the backup running back and fullback in the lineup.
Prior to the snap, false start, 82, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
5 yards on Daniel Graham and Bill Belichick. Yeah, just a little jumpy, trying to get off the line. Little teamwork all the way around. Kevin Falk getting cleaned up from Troy Brown. First and 15 for New England. Go back to Falk. David Thornton has a hit on him. And now support comes in by way of Dries Bashir. Gain of 6. Corey Dillon will return to the lineup. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. You were talking about the Dillon effect. You know, last year Antoine Smith was the leading rusher for New England. His total was only 642 yards for the whole season. Dillon blew that out by 993 yards, almost 1,000 yards more than how Smith led the team a year ago.
I like his reaction to you when you asked him those questions on Friday. He goes, man, I would have never dreamed that I would have this kind of, you know, it really has been a lot of fun to talk to this year, Corey Dillon.
On second down, in the middle of the field, they're back into Indianapolis territory. Monte Rager stops Dillon.
Well, I think the Patriots, when you watch them on offense, so many teams that play this Colts defense, I don't know what you envision. Everybody wants to get down the field and make those plays, and they pass up the short ones that are wide open. So the Patriots, very cognizant of that. And, you know, Tom Brady, what did he say? I might dunk or dink 20 short passes in a row. I am not going to get impatient and throw it into the middle of the defense.
dunk and dink and dink and dunk.
Well, yeah,
same thing, isn't it?
You know what I meant.
Yeah. And then Brady knows what you mean, too. He might be looking for one of those right now on 3rd and 4 in the final minute of the first quarter with pressure. Got it away for the first down. And triple team. David Patton, though, has the first at the Colts 34. Dwight Freeney was applying some pressure, did not get there in time.
Jim, he was there, but you know, when you talk about the Patriots wide receivers, it's a core of them. There's 5 good ones. David Patton to get down the field. Dwight Freeney switching sides. Oh, I tell you what, they found something on that right side. The Patriots are going to have to give Brandon Gorin some help when he lines up over there.
Well, they've got 2 tight ends in, Christian Fauria and the starter Daniel Graham. 1st and 10. Patriots putting together a nice drive, but not this time will they move it down the field as Monte Rager gets to Brady. Is this part of what you saw? Just talking about adjustments they would have to make.
No, that's just there's no adjustment there. It's just me whipping you in front of me.
7-yard sack to end the quarter. Scoreless first quarter. Will return after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by
0 to 60. How fast?
So N equals what, Josh?
Today we'll be performing a triple Hoffenritter procedure.
But you've never done that before.
That's okay.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was an easy button for life? Now there's one for your business. Staples. That was easy.
Cold, hard facts. As the Super Bowl approaches, millions of bottles of refreshing frost-brewed Coors Light will be tackled. Fans will get in touch with their inner linebacker. Grown men will dance. Games will be won. Voices will be lost. And tons of lucky hot dogs will be washed down by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. The coldest tasting beer in the world and the official beer sponsor of Super Bowl 39.
Whatever you do, don't blink.
Bundle up. 1 quarter down, and certainly not the numbers anyone expected. Scoreless first quarter.
No, but you know what? Oh, snow. That's a very appropriate.
We were expecting some snow.
Well,
Long
listen,
snapper.
it's the middle of January up in New England, Foxborough. For this time of the year, these are very good conditions. The snow is not bothering the football players. Maybe the cold weather, and if it gets really windy, that's when it can affect the punter, the place kickers, and of course, most of all, it would affect the throwing of the quarterback.
Well, the Patriots in this second quarter going into the win, and he closed out the first quarter with a sack of Brady. He was not sacked all of last postseason, not once. 2nd and 17. Out of the pocket, he finds Troy Brown at the 31 with Gary Brackett falling on him along with Cato June.
Good job by Tom Brady, just sensing that there was no pass rush, so he waited and waited. He did not panic. Then when he moved out of the pocket, showed that he's fairly good at throwing the football on the run.
And look at this, no huddle. Patriots go to begin the second quarter. With an empty backfield, 3rd and 7. Brady has the first down at the 22 with David Givens.
I'll tell you why they go no huddle, because when they do this, they think they know exactly what this Indianapolis Colts defense is going to do. They're going to play zone. Tom Brady tried to look it off. He knew when he did, the defense would move just enough for him to find the hole to throw the football into.
And if you remember the game that opened this whole season on a Thursday night, they opened the game with this 5-receiver formation and marched right down the field without ever even showing Corey Dillon on that first series as a Patriot.
They do this almost every time they play the Colts.
1st and 10 from the 22. Blitz. Brady gets it away, and a catch is made by Bethel Johnson.
And that was something new, Jim. That's not what they planned for. They got the blitz. The Colts caught them off guard, and the Patriots got away with a holding penalty, I thought, at the line of scrimmage. But a good throw by Tom Brady against the blitz.
So their 5th receiver, Bethel Johnson, gains 9 yards with the catch. Again, 5 receiver set, 2nd down and 1. Quickly cross the middle, and it is back to Troy Brown for a 1st down.
Well, they have done what they set out to do. They have changed the tempo, the mentality, given themselves some confidence, got the crowd excited. And Tom Brady has been, he's an expert at directing an offense in these type of situations.
So the dink and dunk you talked about, 10 out of 11, 69 yards. This is 1st and goal to go right on the 10-yard line, and he just drives straight ahead to the 7.
Wow. That's pretty good. The old goose play. Go up there and goose the center. Something they work on. You know, this something that most teams and offenses and players wouldn't even think about. Tom Brady gets right up in there and right away goes with a quarterback sneak. It's a pretty tough run in there too, Jim.
Corey Dillon returns to the lineup. Single back, 4 receivers. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 2nd and goal. 14th play of this drive for New England. It's a draw to Dillon. And he moves it inside the 5 and then stood up at the 3.
So much what this Colts defense does mimics what the Patriots do on defense. They drop a lot of people back when you get inside their 15-yard line, and they just watch you. So that time the draw play fooled them, but because everybody's looking at the quarterback and watching what's going on, they're able to react and stop him short of the goal line.
What do you expect we see here? 3rd and goal from the 3. With 3 receivers and Dillon in the backfield. It's Dillon, and he is to the 1. Looked like for a moment he might be able to make his way all the way to the goal line, but got cut under, and it's 4th and goal from inside the 1.
They're going for it. Here comes Mike Vrabel and the big unit they put in on offense, and that was another good job by Charlie Weiss and Tom Brady. The quick snap and the draw play, kind of unexpected when you get down inside the 5-yard line.
They spot it really just outside the 1. 16th play of the drive. It's the longest drive of the entire season for the Patriots. Will they come up with a touchdown or come away empty?
Well, they've been very creative in these situations. Remember, Mike Vrabel has caught quite a few touchdown passes.
They're going to run it. It's Dillon. Touchdown, Patriots, with a flag. Mike Doss indicates against New England. Let's see.
Prior to the snap, false start. 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Well, that's going to change the whole plan now. Matt Light moved early, and they'll bring out Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, there's Matt Light. What makes it so tough, if you're the Patriots, it's a run to the right, and that's the left tackle completely on the other side, and his guy, even if you didn't block him, probably wasn't going to make the play. But a good job. Another quick snap count by Tom Brady. Doing that is going to settle down that Colt defense.
Well, after all that, it'll be a 24-yard try. Vinatieri's kick is good. Boy, that was a long one. A long drive, that is. It results in only 3 Patriots on the board. For over 9 minutes on that series, driving 80 yards for a field goal. I heard it all week long, how they're going to try to shorten the game.
Well, that was a good theory. The Patriots said, look, we're just going to try to score. We're not worried about shortening the game. That'll do it. That'll keep that Colts offense sitting on the bench, too, of course.
Rhodes gets outside, across the 30. And then tackled out of bounds by Cherry. 24-yard return. Manning comes out, down 3.
sponsored by Subway. Can you feel the heat rising? Get ready to experience a fresh toasted sub. Subway, eat fresh. IBM, helping companies innovate in an on-demand world. And by Levitra. Ask your doctor about it today. Levitra, when it counts.
We're back in Foxborough tomorrow. All new, The Late Show with David Letterman. Don't miss Jack Hanna and his animals tomorrow with Dave. So now Peyton Manning and his offense have been sitting for a long, long time after that 9-minute drive by New England. They've managed only 57 yards total offense to this point, and on first down, ball squirts free. Ball still loose and recovered by Jeff Saturday, the center.
Well, you talk about what makes a defense so tough. The New England Patriots, they've been careful all day, very conservative, and then all of a sudden, first play after a long drive, they come out, they blitz Peyton Manning, they get to him, they cause the fumble. Mike Vrabel, number 50, who else knocks the football out of Peyton Manning's hand?
And Willie McGinnis was in there mixing it up too, a loss of 12, but the recovery by Saturday. Second down and 22.
Look at all that movement at the line of scrimmage.
They fake the draw. They come over to Dallas Clark, batted away, Willie McGinnis. Now the Colts, during the break after the field goal, so Ryan Deem, their starting right tackle, walk off the field, favoring his right leg, so they've got some changes on the line. And Manning this time just tried to work his way over to Dallas Clark.
Yeah, Willie McGinnis and Mike Vrabel, I don't know what it is about the Indianapolis Colts, but they seem to come up with all the big plays against this offense.
Jake Scott, who had started at right guard, moves over to right tackle, and Tupe Peko is in at right guard. Subs for the Colts with Deem in the locker room. 3rd and 22. And Manning just fires it in the area of Edgerrin. James shaking his head, knowing he had no chance. Willie McGinnis, who has feasted on the Colts, is off to another big start today.
Well, it is. Look at the wide receivers on the outside. They know it's a screen, but still, look at all the defenders down the field. Look at them. Even if it was a pass down the field, there was going to be nobody open for Peyton Manning.
Downwind punt on the way for Hunter Smith. Troy Brown had one good run back. This one begins at the 30, cutting back, some room at the 40, and now doubled up back at the 39s, where they'll spot it with David Thornton on the hit, along with Wayne Bacon. 3 for David Givens. How about this? Indianapolis has been so far held to 2 first downs. They usually get 2 first downs just being introduced in the starting lineups.
That's right.
It is snowing, and it's 25, and snow is collecting on the perimeter of the field, but not really making the conditions all that difficult.
Yeah, the footing's been very good so far. It's so much talked about. Ooh, the Patriots want a sloppy field. They didn't cover it up. Come on, the field was beautiful yesterday. It was great before the game.
2nd and 10. Corey Dillon, look at him go inside the 30. Dillon down to the 15-yard line. Don't forget, the Patriots come off a bye week. They all talked about how much they needed the week off. Their bye had fallen in week 3 of the season. And as Corey Dillon told us this Friday, he says, we're as fresh as a newborn.
Well, he's as fresh as a newborn, and Ron Meeks is right. You never know what to expect from this Patriots offense. Daniel Graham, 82. If you want to run the football and be really good at it, it's almost imperative that you have a really good blocking tight end, and Daniel Graham is having a wonderful day.
From the 19 over to Deion Branch, incomplete. Nick Harper was defending.
Sorry, Jim, you talk about blocking, getting some runs down the field. Watch what Daniel Graham has done so far today. Gets down, gets the linebacker, pushes him out. Corey Dillon cuts it inside, and then again comes inside, shows he's athletic, gets David Thornton, pins him in, and Kevin Falk picks up a lot of extra yards.
2nd down and 10, Colts threatening blitz. Brackett lined up on the right side, now backs away. Number 58 for Indianapolis. Freeney coming after him, and Brady's pass, no flag. Jefferson was all over David Gibbons.
Well, Matt Light and Joe Andrucci, they're both talking about, hey, how are we going to block Dwight Freeney? But Tom Brady, really, it's just a throwaway. And the crowd here is really making a lot of noise, but this is why it's a throwaway. Good job by Tom Brady. Avoid the sack, keep your team in field goal range, and also make third down manageable.
Brady talking about Freeney. He told us he's got a great motor. He comes all day is what he says. Right at me.
He's over on the right tackle, Gorin this time, but Freeney, he is relentless. You can knock him out of bounds. He falls down. He gets blown up. It doesn't matter.
3rd down and 10. Big play for the Colts defense. In the pocket, Brady's pass will not be enough. Gibbons was the safety valve underneath the coverage with Raheem Brock giving Brady some fits.
Well, look at the front four. Look at the movement. Here they come. Tom Brady steps up. Oh, nice job. Josh Williams grabs his jersey where he cannot even get a good throw on target, and that stops the first down. But that front four, they're pressuring Tom Brady so far pretty well today.
Vinatieri already good from 24 in this quarter. This from 30. Actually implores Josh Miller to back up another yard. We'll call it 31, and this one also true. 6-0. A pair of Adam Vinatieri field goals, and the Patriots blanking the Colts.
New Ford 500, built for the road ahead. And by the coldest tasting beer in the world, Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 39.
You can get the latest NFL playoff news and stats, updated schedules, and a look ahead to next week's championship weekend by clicking on NFL at CBSSportsline.com. No, it'll be the Falcons at the Eagles. Who will play at Pittsburgh? Will New England get a chance to go back where they were beaten on Halloween Day to end their 21-game overall win streak? Or will it be the Colts who trail here 6-0? The short kick out to the 31. James Munro with the run back.
Well, when you're trying to beat the defending Super Bowl champions, and you got to do it with your offense, you can't miss opportunities. And so far, the Colts, the weather has bothered them. And of course, the biggest thing of all, the Patriots defense. And we're showing you the drop passes. They're not doing anything to confuse Peyton Manning. It's nothing really unique. It's just getting whipped. That's all it is right now. It's about being physical. That's what the Patriots want to do. And so far, they're winning the battle.
Edgerrin James will go back to the ground, and he scoots ahead, squirts out to the 37 for 6 yards. Let's quickly go to Bonnie.
Well, Jim, it was interesting when we spoke with Rodney Harrison. He told us despite the injuries in the secondary, he felt more confident about the Patriots defensive game plan this year than against last year in the AFC Championship. They put in some new wrinkles and found something, some tips and play action that would give them a heads up when Peyton was going to try to run those plays.
Certainly looks like they've figured something out, doesn't it? They've figured out one of the keys. 2nd down and 4. Looking for some room. James dives for a gain of about 2. But you talk about the trio of receivers, Harrison, Wayne, and Stokely. Harrison has 1 catch. The other 2, nothing.
Nothing yet. And, you know, Bonnie is talking about Rodney Harrison. And Jim, you got to get a kick out of it. The first thing he does, he goes, this has been some irritating week. Listen to all this stuff. And he's so prideful and such a competitor. And when we watch practice, I did see a lot of new defenses by the Patriots, but so far they've kept it fairly vanilla, and they haven't shown many of those new looks.
It's 3rd and 3. Only 2 defensive linemen in on that play for the Patriots. First catch by Stokely for a first down. Troy Brown and Teddy Bruschi bring him down, but Stokely holds on this time for 8.
Well, it was Troy Brown matched up with Brandon Stokely. They put Stokely way outside. Watch them bring him in motion because they want to create space. 3rd and 3, fake going across the field, break back out. That is tough for any defender to try to cover in that situation, much less a guy that's played wide receiver almost his whole career.
Peyton has 43 yards passing with 6 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. But still has to feel fortunate. They're only down 6-0. Timeout called by New England. Timeout charged to the Patriots. So the Colts showing signs of maybe getting something going here near midfield.
One of those new looks, they confused themselves. 2, 4, 6. They're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They do have 11 on the field. Watch Troy Brown. Wait, I'm off? Hold it. Wait. Oh, I'm on. So finally they have to call a timeout.
Is this offense, defense, or special teams? No wonder his head's spinning. He's in on almost everything today. Randall Gay tried to run off. Look at him. So they call timeout. First down for Indianapolis from the 46. Zips it and has his man. That's Reggie Wayne, his first catch of the day. So one each by Stokely, Harrison, and Wayne.
Reggie Wayne against Gay on the outside, and perfect timing by Peyton Manning.
They may measure for the first. You know, on that third down pass play to Stokely, the Patriots, I mentioned it, had only 2 down linemen in on that play.
That's one of their new looks today. They got a lot of variables of that 2 down lineman look too. But you know what? The Colts are ready for it. They know they're going to see some new stuff, and you just roll with it and adjust as you go along.
That's a first down. Tonight on 60 Minutes, he's one of America's most famous athletes. He's known around the world. So how come you've never heard of him? Well, you will tonight. Well, on 60 Minutes after the game.
It can't be Boomer then, can you? Everybody knows Boomer.
I thought you were Boomer. Yes. You mean you're not?
You've heard that today a few times.
It's amazing how many times you hear them. And I've seen it the other side too, Boomer being Phil.
Yeah, but it doesn't annoy me like it annoys him.
Oh, don't be so sure. First down, Edgerrin James down to the 39. Pick up a 5. So now the Colts putting together their best series of the game.
Yeah, and you know what it does? It's once they got a first down, then they got another one. The crowd gets out of it a little. It puts you at ease as a player. All right, we're in rhythm. Now we can go. And all of a sudden, Tom Moore, that play sheet, it just opens up. He sees a lot of good plays instead of trying to find that one play that gets us that first down to get us moving.
It is 2nd and 5 for Manning and the Colts. The deepest penetration of the day, and in stride he hits Marvin Harrison with another first down at the 20, at the 31. Make it.
Well, if you do not bump Marvin Harrison at the line of scrimmage and the Patriots do not touch him this time, look, he's open. The rhythm is there. Peyton Manning gets rid of the football and you move the chains.
Harrison and Manning have played more pass and catch than any duo in the history of the NFL. 1st and 10, Indianapolis. Slicing through Edgerrin James. Some hard work for 3.
Well, we've talked about Rodney Harrison some in this last play after Marvin Harrison caught it. A little talking, and you know, Rodney Harrison's one of those players. He is going to find some conflict. He wants to be angry. He wants to get you upset on the other side of the football, and all that emotion. He's one of the few guys that I've seen on a football field that can get very emotional and still do the right thing, not make mental mistakes.
2nd down, 7. Fake to Edgerrin, setting up the screen to James. A flag is down as James falls at the 21.
Well, it looked like the Patriots.
Holding, 73.
The big one.
Offense.
And that's
10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Jake Scott, who moved over to right tackle for Ryan Deem.
Well, Jim, we've seen this offensive line shuffle around and really do a good job, but Jake Scott, number 73, on the outside against Willie McGinnis. He gets beat too fast and he reaches out with both arms. I thought Ty Warren was held too. I thought that was what they were going to call the penalty on.
Dominique Rhodes comes in for the first time on a play from scrimmage. He's returned some kicks. Instead of first down at the 21, off the screen to James. It's now 2nd and 17 at the 39. Go with the screen again, and Rhodes is ridden down for a loss by Teddy Bruschi, who almost took the football away, and they're going to give it to New England. They're going to say he picked his pocket.
That is some play. Teddy Bruschi, the linebacking core, they are the difference in the game so far. Teddy Bruschi immediately recognizes the screen, beats the blockers over there, and he has the football. He definitely has the football on the way down. Just takes it right out of the hands of Dominique Rhodes. He wasn't satisfied with seeing the play, ruining it, breaking it up, or making the tackle. He went right for the football.
He out-wrestled Rhodes for the football.
It is. It's really... Peyton Manning talked about this linebacking core. He says they all should go to the Pro Bowl, but recognition, just being a player, studying, watching what the other guys do, and doing it so much that you're able to come on the field and react to it and make it happen. Tremendous play by Teddy Bruschi.
Well, that is going to be ruled a completion to Rhodes and a fumble recovery by Bruschi, not an interception. And now they might want to hurry up before the Colts want to challenge it, although I'm not sure a challenge would change the outcome anyway. So from the 41, with 3 minutes to go in the half, Brady goes for the long ball. This could be picked. And I'll tell you, David Patton did a magnificent job of batting it away from Joseph Jefferson.
Well, the Patriots again trying to change the game. You know, they're mixing it up. It was a run offense, then they went that little hurry up. It worked for them. They went back to the run again, and now they're trying to speed it up. But the Colts being a little aggressive, playing man coverage and trying to come after Tom Brady in this 5 wide receiver offense.
2nd and 10 again with the empty backfield. Here comes Freeney. He got him this time. Dwight Freeney. He came spinning around, as he likes to say. We start spinning the minute we get off the bus.
And he is double teamed. Watch it. They double him. Spins. Oh no, Joe Andruzzi at the last second just comes off his guy because he sees Dwight Freeney is just out of control. What a move. And we talked a lot about him last week. The Denver Broncos did a pretty good job against him, and he's one of those players. He really is. He's like Lawrence Taylor. Block him 10 times, but the 11th time he gets by you and he can change a football game.
And it's 3rd and 19. And it's Falk weaving, getting away, and still it'll be a punting situation for New England. Remember, the Colts have all 3 of their timeouts. Would they use one before the 2-minute warning here? They're going to get the football back. They're going to let it run all the way down. Well, the Colts in that AFC final a year ago were shut out in the first half here, 15-0. They're down 6-0 today, but let's see what they can do in the last 2 minutes of the half. You like your sarcasm at times, so
no.
What are people saying all week long? How are they going to stop Peyton Manning? That patchwork secondary, they can't stop him. They've shut him out so far.
Yeah, they've been tremendous so far. Just everything, the linebackers, the pressure, and you're right, Jim. You heard it so much, and Bill Belichick says, look, we're 14-2. We lead the league in a lot of stats defensively. We're going to be okay. We did all right this year without some of those starters, and we'll get it done somehow today.
I love that deadpan look he gives you. I don't know. We won 14 games, you know. CSI Miami, a new episode Monday on CBS. A teenager's dream was to ride along with the police, but he picked the wrong day, and now the investigation will uncover a deadly crime spree leading to a surprise ending you won't believe. It's a new CSI Miami tomorrow at 10, 9 Central here on CBS. That was only a 29-yard boot by Miller, so the Colts begin at the 28.
Well, the Colts have been dominated, but you look at that scoreboard. You got the football, a 2-minute drive, and you're only down 6-0.
Out of the gun, Manning. Good catch this time. Stokely dives across the 40. And Rodney Harrison makes sure there was a little contact after 13 yards.
That's the exact play we saw earlier on 3rd and 3. Brandon Stokely faking going across, making it hard on Troy Brown.
They fake to James into the line. Now they go to him. He's open. A flag is down in the secondary as James has it all the way to the New England 43.
Well, when it comes out of the secondary, you expect it to be illegal contact or holding on the defense. And, you know, Jim, real quick, the hurry-up offense, the Colts wanting to be so balanced, maybe what they need to do is the same thing the Patriots did. Change it up. Get the defense reeling, get them off balance, and make some pass plays.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, 95 defense. That penalty has declined. Result of the play, first down.
And that was on Roman Pfeiffer, and that was the exact call they would have liked to have had on Roman Pfeiffer a year ago at the end of that game on a couple of occasions against Marcus Pollard. And again, they were shut out here last January in the first half. 2 second-half touchdowns, but coming up short 24-14 in that one. It's Stokely plucking it for a first down with Troy Brown a couple of yards away.
Now, you know, I also said during the week, I thought this was the toughest matchup for this New England defense. Troy Brown, a converted wide receiver, against Brandon Stokely, arguably the best inside receiver right now in pro football. And I thought they would give Troy Brown help every single time, but they've left him alone, and Peyton Manning is going right to Brandon Stokely.
Again, they fake to Edgerrin. First down, they go back to him again. And tries to sidestep Vrabel, but he'll have none of that down at the 27. Indy with a full complement of timeouts.
That's the patience Peyton Manning was talking about. Don't force it down the field.
Second down and 5 as we move inside of a minute. Reaching back for the grab at Stokely, and that looks good for another first down.
Now that was a little change that time, trying to bring another defensive back in there a little quicker to help Troy Brown out. Randall Gay not able to get there fast enough, though.
So a timeout called by Indianapolis. There's Romeo Crennel.
Yeah, Romeo Crennel rumored, heard it quite a bit on TV today, rumored to be the next coach with the Cleveland Browns.
And what do you think of that?
I think it's well overdue, that's for sure. I didn't realize. I think I also heard he might be the oldest first-time head coach in the NFL. I didn't know Romeo was 58. I was with him like 27 years ago. He was a young man then.
He was on that Giants staff.
That's right.
And there's a first down. Stokely's catch good for the first. Again, coming up the Nextel halftime report with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer. A look at the playoff picture, highlights of the Eagles' triumph from earlier today. And maybe Dan will tell us what he's going to be serving us next weekend when we all go on site to Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship game, Dan's hometown.
Yeah,
expecting a little home cooking. What do you think?
Yeah, he'll call the caterer. That's what Dan will do. But
360 yards in the first half against the Broncos last week. In the first half, he's over 100 thanks to this series where they're now starting to click.
You know, the Colts, when you watch their offense, it always, to me, seems to be better. They seem to be better when they just get a little frantic and keep things at a higher pace, a faster pace.
2 down linemen in as the pass falls incomplete. Roman Pfeiffer came blitzing. They only lined up again Jarvis Green and Ty Warren on that line.
Well, the idea, there are a couple of things that happen when you only have 2 defensive linemen in there. You can confuse the offense more by moving around, but most of all, it gives you better athletes so you can chase and beat up the wide receivers.
There was no timeout charged a moment ago to the Colts. Look at this. A little trickery up the middle they go, and that's good for a first down. Edgerrin James. Peyton walks nonchalantly to the sideline to distract him, and they snap it back to the edge. But a flag is down. Tony's saying, wait a minute, you can't take away that from us. We've been waiting for that right time. Brandon Stokely is furious.
Well, what might happen here, I don't know if they blew the whistle, as they would say, inadvertently.
Prior to a snap, False start, 18, offense.
They got called
5-yard penalty.
False start on Manning.
Well, did Peyton Manning, did he go towards the line of scrimmage? I'll tell you what he did wrong. He was underneath the center with his hands under there. And once you put your hands underneath the center, then a quarterback legally or whatever you cannot go in motion. That's what Bill Carollo is saying.
So instead of the ball being down at the 11-yard line, they'll back them up 5.
And Jim, you could do that. Sometimes you can leave behind the center to go and give an audible. But when you're trying to deceive the defense, going in motion to draw them off sides or to run a trick play, that is a penalty.
It's 2nd and 15. 37 seconds in the half. Dallas Clark fields it and falls at the 16. Again, Indianapolis. Now they use a timeout. They got that other timeout back because the officials had called for a stoppage of play first, is the word they give us upstairs, to measure for the timeout. So 3rd down, 3rd and about 5 coming.
Well, you look at this game so far, Jim, it's 6-0. It's because of the linebackers. Teddy Bruschi, boy, just recognizing plays. He is unbelievable. Mike Vrabel, he can cover you, he can tackle you, and on the pass rush causes the fumble. And then Teddy Bruschi, look all the way across the formation, recognizes the screen and stops the play and recovers the fumble, or takes the fumble, whatever you want to say.
Just when the Colts advance the football to the deepest point of the day for their side, it really starts to come down rather heavily.
I'll tell you this too, Jim, to go back when Peyton Manning was called for illegal procedure, if Bill Carollo, if he could see that and did it, that was really being heads up on his part, recognizing that and throwing the penalty flag.
Third down and 5. Needing to get to the 12 for a first. Only 28 seconds to operate with in the half.
Look at the defense. Look at all the movement.
Can the Colts put something on the board before the half? Manning's pass. Oh, what a lick. Stokely able to hold on. Asante Samuel smacks him. And the measurement, it looks like it's enough for the first down.
This is what they're doing. The outside defender now is coming off his man, and they're helping Troy Brown out in the slot. They were close a couple times, and this time Peyton Manning let him out into trouble.
Boy, that looked like helmet to helmet to me. You can't do that.
Well, it's only illegal, Jim, if he did not catch it and get a step or two in the ground, both feet, and has time, then, you know, helmet to helmet is legal.
It was right on the point of the reception. He had really not moved. What a job of holding on for Stokely, and they do have a first down. Conditions worsening late in the half here. 22 seconds to go, and the Colts in the last 6 minutes of this quarter have now started to get their rhythm.
They have. We got a half-inch of snow in the booth. It has definitely gotten worse, but the Colts are going with the win. Makes it easier on the quarterback to throw the ball.
Manning has the completion and hurries everybody to the line.
Marvin Harrison so quick on the outside, they cannot even bump him at the line of scrimmage.
With 8 seconds, he needs to go to the end zone here. Fires at the last second, almost picked off. Eugene Wilson. They were looking for Reggie Wayne, and now they'll bring out Vanderjagt.
Wow, almost looked like last year. Peyton Manning thought somebody was open in the end zone and threw a huge interception on the move. You don't see quite as good, and gets very fortunate not to throw the pick.
So Vanderjagt comes out to give the Colts a 23-yard try, and they hold on a minute. They whistle the play dead before the kick. It's a timeout called by New England right before the snap. Well, Vanderjagt found himself in the news this week after a remark leading into this game. See Bruschi at the right of your screen at the last minute causes the confusion, and
Teddy Bruschi must have warned him he was going to wait to the very end to call it.
Vanderjagt made the remark this week that he felt like the Patriots were ripe for this occasion, ripe for the picking. Now, it had about a 2-day shelf life. I didn't actually think that it was that inflammatory a remark, actually.
Hey, it's the NFL. You take every little statement, and
even from a kicker.
Does it matter, Jim? Well, and if they don't say it, just make something up. But the coaches do that. They don't anything that they think is going to get their team a little more alert, giving them an edge, they go with it.
Rodney Harrison said if he played 50 or 60 plays, he wouldn't talk like that. But Vanderjagt, reliable with that right foot, connects from 23 yards. He's the most accurate kicker in the history of the league is Vanderjagt. So we close the half with the field goal. No touchdowns in Foxborough in the first 2 quarters.
Two good teams, well prepared, and the defenses have been physical, fast, and just making they're contesting every play. So when you get that, scoring it's just going to be tough. And now we're getting some conditions that are going to make it tougher on the offenses too.
Let's throw it down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Tony, your offense has gradually gained momentum throughout the half. What adjustments have you made on their defense?
Well, not much, other than we're just making some plays. We got to convert our 3rd downs, and we've kind of hurt ourselves with some penalties, but we're fortunate to only be 3 down. I think we can just play our normal game in the second half.
Coach, thanks.
Got to echo that. Feeling fortunate, down only 6-3.
Yeah, they were dominated for quite a while, but they hung in there and actually had a chance to take the lead. But he's right. Be happy with 6-3.
Manning completed 12 of his last 14. Brady and the Patriots kicked 2 field goals. Colts get one right before the half. 6-3 is the score. New England. Nextel halftime report after this message.
The Nextel halftime report. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel, done.
And welcome back to our New York studios for the Nextel halftime report. Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. It is a 6-3 New England lead at halftime until the last moments of the first half. Dan, it wasn't really the same Peyton Manning we'd seen all season long.
Well, it hasn't been. And, you know, you look at New England Patriots, and they're a team that wants to disrupt Peyton Manning. You see in the first half here, Peyton had some problems throwing the football over the middle here. He gets a drop when it should have been caught. Then they get pressure. That's what New England Patriots want to do, disrupt his timing. Willie McGinnis, nice play here. Then they've been having a problem throwing screen passes, and there's another screen you get where Teddy Bruschi makes a great instinctive play, causing a turnover. And Peyton Manning almost throws an interception, which would have been extremely tough for the Indianapolis Colts. They come up with 3 points.
And Tom Brady's actually handling the weather pretty well. You see him right here on first down, throwing for another first down here and moving around pretty good, avoiding the sacks. I'll tell you what, the key play in the first half, guys, Matt Light, false start, forced the Patriots into a field goal. You got to score touchdowns. You can't score field goals.
Yeah, and this is why they got Corey Dillon right here. Picks up tough yardage, and he's doing a great job of keeping that Indianapolis Colts offense off the field with some good, tough running. They were 27th in the league in rushing last year. This year, number 7. And look at Corey Dillon growth. The New England Patriots getting Corey Dillon was the biggest rip-off since the Louisiana Purchase. I don't know why Cincinnati would give him up, but I tell you what, they might not win the Super Bowl, the Patriots, but they are a better football team. It's going to be tough.
All right, now, have we seen enough from these teams in the first half to know what to expect in the second half?
If I'm Indianapolis Colts, I'm taking Troy Brown against Brandon Stokely. I'm saying, Stokely, I'm going to throw you 8 to 10 balls. I need you to get me 100 yards and a touchdown. If you do that, we're going to win the football game. You got 1 turnover, Indy. You don't turn the football anymore. You go to Brandon Stokely, you'll win this football game.
Big decision for Indianapolis as they come out of the locker room right now. Do I take the win and kick off with the win, or do I kick into the win and save the win for the fourth quarter? And Phil Simms is right. The linebackers of the Patriots are playing fantastic football, but they have to score touchdowns against the Indianapolis Colts. That false start penalty by Matt Light could cost them the game because they had a touchdown on the ground with Corey Dillon.
And if you're Belichick, you love what the New England's defense has done in the first half, and we talked about it on the pregame show. He's going to want to keep everything in front of him defensively as far as their secondary is concerned, trying not to give up any big plays to the Indianapolis Colts, and they've done that so far, and it's worked very well for the Patriots. Got to continue to do that in the second half.
All right, want to remind you, we will all be at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh next Sunday night to bring you a special edition of the the NFL today, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, as we set the stage for the AFC Championship game between the Steelers and either the Colts or the Patriots. Earlier today in the NFC Divisional Playoff matchup, the Eagles head for their 4th straight NFC Conference Championship game. Donovan McNabb to Brian Westbrook for 7 yards and a 14-0 lead there. Dante Culpepper, 7 yards out, will run it in to cut the Eagle lead in half. But 1st and 10 from the Viking 14. McNabb to L.J. Smith. He's going to get hit. He loses the ball. What a fortuitous event for Freddie Mitchell. Touchdown. Eagles led 21-7, and this is the story of the Vikings. Gus Frerotte on the fake field goal looked. Randy Moss wasn't there. Moss had walked off the field. They would have had too many men on the field. 27-14 Philly. A confident Donovan McNabb.
We've been in this situation before. We know what we need to do. And if we just go out and just, do what we're supposed to do in our given positions, things should take care of itself. My eyes are still pretty hungry right now. So if you look into my eyes, you'll know what I'm talking about, Shannon.
Just didn't make enough plays against a team of this magnitude. You have to make plays when you have a chance to make plays, because you don't know how many opportunities they're going to give you.
All right, so it's a 27-14 Eagle win. What's Atlanta going to see in those Donovan McNabb eyes next week?
A very confident guy is ready to go out and show the world that, hey, I'm a good football player. I'm going to get my team into the Super Bowl, but the Michael Vick experience is coming to town. It's going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about with his eyes, but I know one thing, that he played a very weak Minnesota defense today. He was lucky to get them. He's going to get a much better defense next week against Atlanta. They're going to be all over him, and thank goodness for Brian Westbrook. That's all I can say. He's the key to that offense in Philadelphia.
Well, what's interesting to me is, Michael Vick, you're going to get the big plays out of him running the football. Can the Atlanta Falcons run the football successfully like they did against the Rams against the Eagles? I'm not sure, because the Eagles have a very athletic defense that's up the field and can make plays against the run.
Dante Culpepper and company are pretty formidable, but it's not going to be anything like what they're going to face, what the Eagles are going to face next week.
Well, it's all about defense and Michael Vick. And I'll tell you, Eddie Donatel has done a great job down there coordinating that defense. They're going to be up the field all over Donovan.
I want Donovan McNabb to know we look into Shannon Sharp's eyes every week. It's no great shakes here either. We thank you for, thanks for watching the Next Time Halftime Report. We'll rejoin Jim and Phil after this.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel. Done.
CBS tomorrow on a new CSI Miami. His dream was to ride along with the Miami PD. He picked the wrong day.
Where isn't the ride along? Maybe he took off, or maybe he got taken for a ride.
Freeze!
We had a real-life Bonnie and Clyde on our hands.
He was very good at making enemies.
The question becomes, which one of them got to him first?
CSI Miami, a new episode of CBS tomorrow.
Southeast Asia and East Africa have been devastated by tsunamis that claim more than 150,000 lives.
But for those who survived, the real struggle has just begun.
By donating to the World Food Program and other organizations providing aid, you can make a difference that will save lives and help tsunami victims rebuild.
Now is not the time to sit on the sidelines. Millions of people need your support. Join the team and donate.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Sponsored by Nextel Nationwide Walkie-Talkie.
6-3 Patriots at halftime. The team's now just starting to matriculate out to the field, and the snow starting to get a little bit more forceful here. We've got a thin coating on the field as well. Colts coming out down 3. It's been a bruising first half behind Brady and Brown and Brewski, and a heavy dose of Corey Dillon, who ripped off one long run of over 40 yards. Colts didn't appear to really get their balance going into the late stages of that first half. Third quarter coming up.
Catch the King of Queens Wednesdays on CBS. It's all here.
Introducing the all-new 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee. With an available 330 horsepower Hemi V8, it has best-in-class horsepower and torque. The optional electronic stability program that helps maintain control on slippery roads. And available Quadra-Drive 2, our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever. Go ahead, let it snow. Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus bonus cash for a total savings of up to $4,700 on Grand Cherokee.
If a lunar rover can get out of a ditch on the moon, if a tugboat can tow an enormous freighter, if an M1 tank can have a heavy-duty Allison transmission, then why can't your truck? At GMC, our engineers don't just ask questions, they have answers. The GMC Sierra line of pickups. Professional-grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
The customers at my Speedway count on me for coffee that's always ground fresh right before it's brewed.
I've got to have my coffee from Speedway every morning. I get half vanilla cappuccino, mix it with their regular coffee. It's a great way to start the day.
And right now at Speedway, any size coffee or cappuccino is just 89 cents.
It's the best cup of coffee in town, period.
At Speedway, it's always great values, great prices. You've got my word on it.
We're on your way, the convenience stores of Speedway.
Now at Speedway, Nestle Toll House candy bars, 3 for just 99 cents.
Hyundai's done it again. The Hyundai Santa Fe is the winner of Strategic Vision's.
(6-3) New England, with the winner advancing to Pittsburgh and the AFC Championship game next Sunday. And Phil, when we look at these two teams coming back out on the field, what do you think they're feeling right now as far as confidence, the mindset?
Well, I think they both went in at halftime feeling good about what they did in the first half. And I expect, even though the conditions have gotten a little tougher, I expect both offenses to now, they know what the defense is doing, to get in rhythm and be more productive here in the second half.
All right, first half numbers, the total yards almost identical, as the Colts picked up over 100 yards in the last 6 minutes of the first half. They moved it a couple of times, and they had the one strip away and recovery, a fumble recovery is how it went in the books by Bruschi, as Indianapolis had threatened. Then they came back and kicked the field goal. Vanderjagt on the last play of the half. Martin Gramatica, who has been handling the kickoff duties late in the season, inactive today, so Vanderjagt has that part of his job back, and a one-hopper. It's picked up and run out all the way to the 45-yard line by Bruschi. So New England with an excellent start here to the second half, and let's get the report from Bonnie.
Well, Jim, this is the first half the entire season. The Colts haven't put any points on the board. Bill Belichick says it has to do with team defense. I asked him to point out individuals or parts of the defense that really stood out. He said, I've emphasized with my players all week, we have to do it well across the board. We can't just try to stop Peyton Manning. We can't just try to stop Edgerrin James. We got to do it with everybody for 60 minutes.
All right, Bonnie, remember that we saw Patrick Pass go out early with an ankle sprain. He's back in as a lead blocker for Corey Dillon. No gain. Pass had seen a little action late in the second quarter on some special teams, so they have him back in their artillery.
Well, I think the fact that both defenses in this game really were stressing, don't give up a big play, and so far it hadn't even been close. Neither team has even been challenged down the field much. Tom Brady threw one long one down there, but the defense is doing a good job keeping everything in front, making it tough for the offense to drive down the field.
On 2nd and 10, Brady from the pocket dumps it, and that's only a 1-yard gain to Dillon. Rob Morris with the immediate hit. We'll give him 2, so 3rd and 7 or 8, 7 we'll call it, with a minute into the third quarter. There's Brady's first half numbers.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and just the total yards tells you a lot of short passes, and when you're practicing, just like that last play, Tom Brady throws it over the middle, you think, well, let's throw it short. If that's what they give us, let's take it. But you think you're going to get more yards after the catch than either team has gotten so far today.
On this passing down, they bring in Kevin Falk, flanking the quarterback out of the gun. And Brady steps in, fires, almost picked off by Bashir.
Well, pressure on Tom Brady. The New England Patriots not able to take advantage of the fact that they got a really good return on the opening kick of the second half. He's waiting for it to come down the field. He's forced up in the pocket. Then he's pressured, and he's really extremely fortunate. Dwight Freeney. Wow, look at this. That's a double spin move.
Yeah, double spinning past Christian Fauria, the second tight end for the Pats. Josh Miller. And everybody move out of the way as the signal from Troy Walters. And there is a flag down.
What I was telling you earlier in the game, Jim, I was bragging about the Patriots, how they had blocked Dwight Freeney. But even when they're double teaming, you can see how dynamic and how explosive. And as Tom Brady said, he never slows down, and he has not slowed down so far.
You know, the Colts were already looking at beginning their first series of the second half inside the 20, and if it goes against them, they could be back inside the 10.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 53, the kicking team, after the ball was dead. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. Indianapolis keeps the ball, first down.
And it goes the other way, and it's a big one. Moving it across the 30 on Larry Izzo.
Oh, you just saw it from behind. Larry Izzo taking a shot.
Yeah, Wayne Bacon.
Hitting Wayne Bacon, and so that was pretty violent and pretty easy to see.
Edgerrin James into the pile for a gain of 1. Will the Colts come out and run as smooth and efficiently as they did in the late stages of the second quarter? In the AFC Championship game last year, Peyton's completion percentage under 50%. Through the 4 picks, the passer rating at 35. It's 80 today, the rating.
I think he's thrown the football very well, considering the conditions and the fact that he's going against a pretty good defense.
Fake to James, and again, this is the screen play. Waiting for his blockers, and he scoots across the first down yardage behind Jeff Saturday. He ran for a first down.
Just really well executed this time by good fake by Peyton Manning. Everybody sees all these play action passes all the time by the Colts, so you turn and run backwards, and then when they throw the screen, you've got to be athletic and very aggressive to get up and stop the long game.
So a new set of downs for the Colts, who were 3 and out on the first 2 series of the afternoon. In fact, 3 of their first 4 as Roman Pfeiffer wraps up. Like that Willie McGinnis wraps up Edgerrin James for a 1-yard loss.
Well, Willie McGinnis says, well, if you're not going to block me, I'll just come flying down here and make a tackle. It's almost reminiscent of what he did in the opening game of the year. Late in the game, unblocked, comes in, sacks Peyton Manning, and knocks him out of field goal range unless the Patriots win.
Well, it was a 48-yard try in the end by Vanderjagt, which he missed, which ended his streak of 42 in a row, the all-time record. Otherwise, it would have been a 36-yard try to force overtime. McGinnis pushed him back. It's 2nd and 11. And James near midfield. Again, it's McGinnis and Vrabel. You thought that Edgerrin James, you said at the beginning that he might catch a lot of balls today. That's now 5 receptions.
Well, I was when I listened to Peyton Manning talk to us last night, I think his number says don't be surprised if he catches anywhere from 10 to 15 passes.
Wow.
So if the defense wants to drop back, he'll continue to throw it short.
3rd and 4. Looking for Stokely. He has it, but just short of the first, it appears. Look at Rodney Harrison come in. Say, move that football back. I think they're going to be a half-yard shy.
It does look at Brandon Stokely has been doing the play where he comes in motion, runs a little bit, and he stops and comes back from where he started from. This time he goes across the formation, and there is no doubt when you look at it right there, he is short of the first down.
You notice they didn't have Troy Brown on him that time.
Change defenses up.
No fooling around with this one for Tony Dungy on 4th and a half yard. Troy Brown is in for the punt return. Andrew Smith would like to pin him deep. Punting downwind. Fair catch signal, and a clear out for Brown's catch at the 12. Still 6-3, Patriots, third quarter. Poll of the day. With the game on the line, which of these two would you like leading your team in the final minutes? We're probably going to find out. You can vote Brady or Manning at NFL.com. Brady and the Patriots with the 3-point lead from the 13-yard line, and Dillon is dropped back for a 1-yard loss. Bashir came up. Cato June also on the hit.
Well, you see the turf here, the snow. It's still pretty good footing for the players out there. I have not seen anybody slip. It's not hurting the pass receivers going down the field.
And it's easier to play on this field than it was when we were here for the Ravens game in the mud over Thanksgiving weekend. Second down and 11. Brady has the first. Christian Faurier with the reception near the 30-yard line. Gain of 17.
Yeah, good job. Dwight Freeney again gets close to Tom Brady as he throws the football. But he sees a little opening to the inside and throws it perfectly low down in there where only his tight end can catch it. Gosh, look at those spins. Probably could have been a hold there.
With the first down for New England in 15 minutes on the game clock. Just tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Dillon able to pick up about 4.
Well, we've talked so much about Dwight Freeney leading into this football game, and you know he has not disappointed anybody when you watch this play. Double teamed, he never stops. Look at that, just he's out of control, gets knocked to the ground all the time, gets all over Tom Brady, ruined the screenplay, gets the sack. He single-handedly has ruined about 6 pass plays of the New England Patriots so far today.
He steps out on this play. Scioli is in for him on 2nd and 6, and Dillon able to find all kinds of room with Freeney off the field, running behind Christian Faurier for 9 yards. Take a little look back into a window of time in Bill Belichick's career as a coach. This is the 30th year for Belichick in the NFL. He actually started in the NFL in the Colts organization as an assistant to Ted Marchibroda. Not an assistant coach, but an assistant to the coach when they were the Baltimore Colts back in 1975. Kevin Falk in the backfield, first down. And Falk hurdles ahead for 10 yards. Bob Sanders had to come up and make the stop. But Marchibroda is here. He does the radio broadcast for the Colts, and you know, they had all kinds of nicknames there. I wish they'd open up the window, talking about a window of time.
Yeah, what's happened?
Coach Marchibroda, though, very proud of a young man he knew as Bedcheck Billy, Bad News Billy. If you saw Belichick coming, you knew you were in trouble back in those days.
That's right. He was going to maybe be the guy to tell you to go see the head coach. You might be released. I saw Coach Marchibroda. They're measuring for a first down right now. But I saw Ted Marchibroda a week ago, and Coach Belichick's name came up and immediately goes, well, Billy, it's always Billy. It's not Bill, Coach Belichick, it's always Billy. And you said, Jim, he used to drive Ted Marchibroda to work every day, and they had those discussions, and what a guy to learn under.
No, he really interned for him at first, but then he got that first big paycheck.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mr. Marchibroda, and you ask Bill, he knows right down to the penny how much it was worth.
Well, it was what was it?
$22.83, his first check in the league.
$25 a week
with a little tax taken out.
Yeah.
So Freeney is still out as it's second and the nose of the football to go for New England. It was an impressive piece of running by Kevin Falk a moment ago. Looking very fresh. Oh, in and out of the hands of Christian Faurier. We had some drops in the first half by the usually sure-handed Colts, who were shaky at first, and Fourier drops the first down here.
Well, what it is, the Patriots just trying to take advantage of the situation. Tom Brady saw the defense, knew if he ran this play action pass, there was going to be somebody wide open going across the field. It was Christian Fourier.
Still, it's just 3rd and inches, and Freeney is out. Pass and Dillon lined up in the eye behind Brady. It's Dillon, first down with ease. And moving it down to the Colts 45.
Well, they thought they could run this football on this defense today. At times they have had really good success. Charlie Weiss sticking with it. He's been patient all year. Well, in fact, we've heard Tom Brady say, hey, sometimes he thinks they're a little too patient with it because it takes his rhythm out. What did he say early in the year? I went to the sideline. We'd run the ball 7 straight times. I opened my mouth and I almost said, like, when are we going to throw the dang ball? And he said he was quiet at the last second because he knew better.
Brady back in on first down. And look at this, shaking tackles. It's Dillon down to the 40 and a gain of 5. Again, sidestepping the early pressure. Coming up next week on CBS, a math genius who can use stats to solve crimes. The premiere of Numbers is next Sunday after the AFC Championship game here on CBS.
Let me say this too, this Colts defense, it has improved. It's much maligned. It's young, it's undersized, it is fast. All the money's been put in the offense. They have really accounted themselves well here today.
Kevin Falk cuts back to the left side of Bob Sanders, the rookie who has so much promise. We had a visit with him yesterday. And you like his physical play. As he says, that's the key. Play physical, play fast, hit hard. And you say this guy's going to be a good one in the league.
Well, he is. He's explosive. He's a big playmaker. And in other words, you throw it down the middle of the field, he's not afraid to go in there and make the hit, the cause the fumble or the football pop up, get an interception. 2nd round draft pick from Iowa, and he has not disappointed the Colts organization with his play.
It is 3rd and 2 inside of a fast moving 3rd quarter. 5 minutes. Brady, open man in the flat. Patrick pass. First down to the 24. Boy, he was flat on the field in the first quarter after Dillon landed on his right ankle. Didn't look too promising that pass would return, but he has. And 15, give him 14 yards for the first down.
Deion Branch in motion, confused the defense. Who's got who? That's what happens, and that's why Patrick Pass is wide open out in the flat. You could see him going, okay, when somebody comes across, everybody's got to change who they are covering, and nobody got Patrick Pass that time.
On first down, it's Dillon. And again, ridden down by Bashir, running behind Andruzzi. And Dillon's moving in on 100. He's 7 yards shy.
I think when he came up here to the Patriots this year, Shannon Sharp said something about it's the steal of the century, but he's patient, he's strong, he has done this so many times, and you could see it on that run. He will find the hole and take advantage of it.
A lot of people thought this might be a 25-30 carry day for Dillon. He comes out, Falk comes in. Falk wide open. Down to the 10-yard line. Andruzzi again opening up things. Doss and Harper had to come up from the secondary to make the hit.
Well, we see it with so many teams. They bring in the second running back, and it's a nice change of pace. Look at the blocking up front. Matt Light, nice job. Gets his man completely out of the way. Wide receivers, David Givens blocking down the field. But the offensive line just keep going at it. The defensive line gambling a little too much, thinking pass. And that's why the Patriots are running it so well now.
It's 1st and goal at the 10. It's Falk weaving down to the 7. This is the 2nd time in this game they've had a goal-to-go situation beginning at the 10-yard line. And again, they thought for a moment they had a touchdown when they went for it on 4th and goal from the 1, only to have it taken off the board as there was a procedure penalty called on Matt Light that resulted then in a field goal by Vinatieri. 2:20. That's all that remains in the 3rd quarter. 14th play of this drive. They had a 16-play drive earlier. On 2nd and goal, draw. Falk And a huge 3rd and goal from the 5 on the way.
Well, let's say this. The Patriots, their goal on defense today was to see if they could hold the Colts to 3 field goals. And now you look at it. This is the 3rd, Jim, you talked about it, 3rd time you're down in there. Colts trying to turn the tables on them. Hold them to a field goal, and it's like no damage is done.
They bring in Troy Brown. Now he steps out. David Patton's in. 3rd and goal. They've had it for over 9.5 minutes in this quarter. From the 5, Brady with time. Now on the run. Throws. Touchdown. Touchdown, Patriots. David Gibbons.
Well, the one time the Colts needed a pass rush down on the goal line, they did not get it done. Tom Brady, with the extra time, moves out of the pocket and finds David Gibbons for the touchdown.
And this for the 10-point lead. Vinatieri good. There was only one Patriot touchdown a year ago in the AFC Championship game. It was a touchdown pass to Gibbons, and that today is our first touchdown of the afternoon.
The Netscape internet service.
It took 43.5 minutes of action before we saw our first touchdown in this game. David Gibbons. A year ago in the AFC final, Patriots had 5 Vinatieri field goals, a safety, and only 1 touchdown, and that was a pass to Gibbons. A little confusion here, and the Colts just fall on it with James Mungrove. (13-3).
Pass rush allows Tom Brady. Defensive lineman drops back in coverage. Nobody on the quarterback allows him to move, and allows David Gibbons to go all the way across, where the defense overcommitted to get the touchdown catch.
Well, the pressure is on Peyton Manning and the Colts. Down 10 with a little more than a minute to go, 3rd quarter. Up ahead for 3 with Edgerrin James tonight. Cold case, a new one. The boxer was going to be the next Rocky until tragedy struck him down in the ring. And now a referee's deathbed confession could prove it was murder. It's a new episode of Cold Case tonight after 60 minutes here on CBS.
You know, I'm kind of surprised. I thought in the second half, after the success they had in the first half, that the Colts would come out and kind of go hurry up, no huddle. They didn't do it in the first drive, and they're not doing it this time either.
It's amazing, though. It's only 2nd series of the half. With less than a minute to play in the 3rd, Manning's pass to Wayne, his 2nd catch, with Randall Gay on the coverage. 2nd catch by Wayne.
I tell you, that just shows you the strength of Peyton Manning, kind of backpedaling and still throws it to the far sideline. But the blocking up front, good enough to allow Manning the extra time to throw it down the field to Reggie Wayne.
Now operating at the 41. Stretch play, Edgerrin James. And he is run down right down the line of scrimmage. Rodney Harrison and Mike Vrabel stop him for no gain.
You hear those names a lot. Vrabel, Rodney Harrison.
Well, Harrison this week in talks with us said Peyton Manning's a great quarterback, but if he's moving around with his feet and all, he's not the same MVP quarterback. He was the one who talked about trying to get him off the spot, because if he sits there, he'll kill you. What have they done to him so far as that goes?
They have taken the deep throws down the field away from Peyton Manning and made it difficult for him to have those 10-play scoring drives.
End of the quarter. We start the final quarter. Peyton Manning, who has never won here in Foxborough, has had the season of all seasons for quarterbacks. The 49 touchdowns. Incredible performance in the wild card win a week ago over Denver. Only 3 points by this high-powered Colts attack through 3 quarters, and that will set up 3rd and long for Indianapolis, the 4th highest scoring team in the history of the league, with only a field goal through 3 quarters.
Well, a couple reasons. The defense has been outstanding. The offense has controlled the football, and the linebacking core of this defense. Teddy Bruschi, look, he's faked to one side. Oh, he recognizes a screen, and Peyton Manning has to throw it away again on a screen play. The linebackers are the story so far for this New England defense.
3rd down and 10. Excellent protection this time. Now it'll come out of the pocket and incomplete with Bruschi and Samuel both in the area of Brandon Stokely.
It's all about preparation, Jim, and watch this. Brandon Stokely comes across the field. Mike Vrabel is just going to miss him. First off, he can't hit these little guys, but look at the defense. They pass it off. He comes up. You let one guy go and you wait for the next one to come into your area. That's what they are doing so well with here so far today.
Hunter Smith back on the field. Hunting into the win. Colts into the win this final quarter. And it's a good one. It lands at about the 10. And finally falls silent at the 5. Teddy Bruschi and his linebacking core all over the field as the Patriots lead.
By IBM, helping companies innovate in an on-demand world. And by the all-new Odyssey from Honda. A great idea made better.
Jim Nantz and Phil Simms and Bonnie Bernstein in Foxborough. We're in the first minute of the final quarter with the Patriots, the Super Bowl champions, leading 13-3 with possession at their own 6. Come out with Dillon, stacked up right away by Gary Brackett. Tomorrow is all new on CBS, beginning with Still Standing, then Listen Up, and TV's most watched comedies. Everybody Loves Raymond. 2.5 Men starring Charlie Sheen, and then a new episode of Monday's #1 show, CS Miami, plus The Late Show, David Letterman, tomorrow here on CBS.
You said it, Jim, during the commercial. Big moment for Indy's defense. You got to get this game turned around. You're down 10 points. 14 minutes ago, you can give your offense tremendous field position if you can stop them without a first down here.
2nd down and 9 for Brady. From the goal line, launching it long with a man open, and Patton not able to run under it.
What a call. I'll tell you what, that's Tom Brady changed the play. Do you think they got a little confidence and belief in their quarterback to change the play in the end zone? And this football, it looked like it was going to be perfect. Patton just can't quite get there.
Patton's caught some long ones this year, his best ever season. By the way, for those expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, this divisional playoff game between the Colts and the Patriots. And we remind you, 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Here's a play right here that Indianapolis must key in on. 3rd down and 9. Freeney spinning. Brady from the end zone. And the catch is made by Kevin Falk for the first down.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jim. I just wanted to circle Dwight Freeney. They blocked him long enough. The coverage down the field was excellent. But nobody covers the running back coming out of the backfield. And Tom Brady predetermined that he was going there. Did you see the little pump fake? Dwight Freeney is blocked. The little pump fake, he knew it was going to open up Kevin Falk to his right, and he made a good throw.
Saw the little bobble and the hold on for the clean catch in the end, and Dillon bounced out after a gain of a yard. Let's send it back downstairs. Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Jim, in his first playoff game, Corey Dillon's been such a huge part of the Patriots running game, and after 7 frustrating seasons in Cincinnati, comes to the Patriots, sets his career rushing record, and he says, you know, I kind of wonder what would have happened if I would have spent my entire career here. On the other side, he says, maybe I needed to experience all of those frustrating times to appreciate what I have now and pass on to the younger guys, hey, don't ever give up on your dreams.
Yep, he said this playoff-free stretch of his career made him grow as a person and learn to never give up on yourself. Only played in one postseason game in his career, a Holiday Bowl, when he was at Washington for 1 year. Brady. What a catch. Daniel Graham, but there is a flag.
What a throw by Tom Brady.
We'll wipe out the 11-yard gain. And the holding signal to the
Prior
benches.
To the pass, holding, 50, defense. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play, first down.
Holding on David Thornton. Not what Tony Dungy was hoping for.
Well, playing under pressure. That's what this team is doing right now. The New England Patriots. There's the holding penalty. Tom Brady, perfect throw. David Thornton, there's nothing you can do about that.
You know, Graham with that catch becomes the 9th different receiver today. Catch a pass to Brady, who's throwing again and almost intercepted by Cato June. He had a read on that one. Would have been a significant lift for the Colts, who have not forced a turnover.
They've had a couple chances today, you know, and you never know when your opportunity is going to come to make a game-changing play, a big one. Not that Cato June could have intercepted that ball, but it was a chance to knock it up in the air, get a deflection, and get a big turnover.
12-19 remaining with a 10-point lead. Second down and 10, New England. Brady overthrows Givens. Everyone looking for a flag, and now at long last one comes flying in, but there was a 2 or 3 second delay. Nick Harper was in on David Givens, and I thought they weren't going to throw a flag.
I thought maybe they wouldn't, because he was not going to be able to catch the pass.
Yeah, was it catchable? They may pick this one up.
No, they'll call holding if nothing else.
Pass interference, defense, 25, hooking around the waist and restricting the receiver. Automatic first down, in spite of the foul.
Now, you know,
it was a catchable pass.
You are allowed. He says it's not a catchable, but he hooked him, put the hand on the right hand, and turned the receiver. That's what they look for that time, and David Givens knows.
David Givens with the game's only touchdown, with 3 touchdowns in his last 3 playoff games. Last year's AFC final, touchdown catch in the Super Bowl, and now this one today. End around, Deion Branch. Raheem Brock able to fall on him after a gain of 4. So trickery, going with the passing game, not content just to run it here with the 10-point lead, this Patriot offense.
Well, this Patriots offense, they said they were going to be patient, and that's what they have been. They can do it because their defense is playing great. You got the running game by Corey Dillon. Kevin Falk's done it. Tom Brady, when he's not getting pressured, has moved around and made 2 big passes, completions, while moving out of the pocket today.
Remember, this series started back at the 6-yard line, and now it's moved into Indy territory. With Dillon. Dillon all the way out to the first down. That should give him 100 right on the number. Actually, he's above it by a couple. Corey Dillon has a 100-yard game in his first playoff game.
Well, this drive, it has a chance to just signify everything that the Patriots are about, what this game was about. They said they wanted to be more physical. They have done that on both sides of the football today. You heard the players. I was listening. Run the ball. We're going to run it. We're not any of these other teams that couldn't get it done against the Indianapolis Colts. We will, and so far today, they have.
Peyton Manning has to be saying over there on the bench, come on, guys, I've been sitting here forever, it seems like. Brady on first down. Dumps it. Dillon. Good piece of running for another 9. Remember, if they advance here today, Dillon and the Patriots will head to Pittsburgh. He did not play in that first matchup against the Steelers.
Well, here's what they're trying to do. Go deep to Graham. There's going to be somebody out in the flat. Watch how they're covered. And then Tom Brady, you talking about patience? He waits, he waits. He throws it short over the middle. So he did not take a chance. He showed his patience, and look how he's rewarded with an 8-yard pickup.
Dillon missed the game with a thigh bruise at Pittsburgh. And the Patriot win streak came to a close. Straight ahead driving for the first down. It's Brady.
You know, Jim, we've said so much about Corey Dillon, Peyton Manning trying to stay warm if they get the football back. But we talked about Corey Dillon. I thought it was interesting what he said to us on Friday. He says, you walk around this place, he's the newcomer. They've won 2 Super Bowls. Nobody wears their ring, and I mean nobody. I've yet to see either one of those Super Bowl rings. They don't talk. They talk like a team that has had no success. They act like it, and I tell you, I've never been around any place like it where everybody has the same motive. They want to accomplish winning another Super Bowl.
Kevin Falk for 2 yards. Larry Triplett makes the hit, whistles blow after a gain of 2. But point is, I guess, for Dillon, he comes in, it's got to be a little intimidating. This team has had so much success, but no one wearing him out or making him feel unwelcome because of the success they had before he got here.
Listen, you remember the first preseason game we did? I said something about the Super Bowl rings to Bill Belichick.
Didn't want to hear about it.
He goes, do you have anything else you want to talk about? I was like, wow. Okay.
The other thing was, I remember back then, Ty Law told us, we're not defending anything. That was last year. Forget calling us defending Super Bowl champions. That's already done. We're not defending it. We're out to win another one. We just beat the play clock. We go back to Falk and Triplett again and on the hit with 8.5 to play. Tonight on CBS, the lineup starts with America's #1 news magazine, 60 Minutes. Then a new cold case, and CSI New York is on a special night. That's all tonight here on CBS. Now for the Colts, they have to allow here nothing more than a field goal. In this half, the Colts have only had the football twice for 35 yards. That's it. 3rd and 8. Go with the run. And Dillon breaks free. Bashir has an angle on him, but Dillon dives to the pylon. Hold on, they're going to say he's just shy. I thought he might have had it. Out at the 1. Dillon, it looked for certain as though Dillon was going to be stopped. They'd have to bring out Vinatieri, and then he just breaks free. Didn't give up.
This is just enforcing your will on the other team. The blocking, nobody's now in pursuit of Corey Dillon. You saw everybody down the field. And Corey Dillon, look, nobody able to get off the blocks of the New England offensive lineman, and Corey Dillon almost takes it to the end zone.
Dillon thought he had it. Again, if he just touched the pylon, which he did, it's a touchdown. But they say his left foot, he just toed the sideline, and he's out at the 1. Timeout called by the Patriots. Patriots' 3rd drive of the day. That's been a long one. 14th play coming up for the backbreaker. Ahead from the 1-yard line. Brady dives ahead. Touchdown, New England.
Well, Jim, Tom Brady, you kind of said it. He had to be doing a slow burn up here this week where nobody was talking about him. It was all about the Colts and Peyton Manning and their offense. Well, he's done his talking on the field.
He's never lost a playoff game. Tom Brady from a yard out has now thrown for a touchdown and run for another. The Patriots had called timeout. Thought they might challenge the Dillon run, say he was in for the touchdown. Of little concern because on the very next snap, it's Brady plunging ahead from a yard away, and the Patriots are cruising.
Can inspiration...
And now 14 for another touchdown. This kick drives Dominique Rhodes back into the end zone for a touchback. And remember, on that series, they faced 3rd and 10 back at their own 6, and Falk picked up a first down on an 11-yard grab.
Is sponsored by Thank You from Citi, a new kind of rewards program from a card you can count on. TGI Fridays' new $12.99 3-course menu. Everyone could use more Fridays. And by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Here, honey.
Minutes remain at Gillette Stadium. The Colts can only shake their head. This is just an amazing team here at New England. All week, everyone talking up the Colts, who have managed only a field goal today. And in and out of the hands of Edgerrin James. That is, by my count, the 4th drop of the day by Indy.
I'll tell you what it is, Jim. And I'm not going to say it was different, but you said early in the game, when they lost the opening contest up here this year, they all said, well, we lost a home game. That's how important the season is. If the Colts, if they played the Patriots in the Dome, on the AstroTurf, the way they're designed to play on, or what they were built for,
different game.
It could change. Well, of course, it's a lot of things would be different.
Reggie Wayne slicing through on the slant for the first hand, and a fumble recovered by New England. Teddy Bruschi with the recovery. Harrison knocked it loose.
That's the same play that Reggie Wayne scored on last week against the Denver Broncos, but it's changed here today. The pressure is greater. The hitting is more ferocious. The weather is tough.
Patriots take over 20-3, controlling the Colts from the start. Are in numbers premiering next Sunday after the AFC Championship game. Who would have imagined the numbers posted here today? Teddy Bruschi with 2 fumble recoveries.
Well, they're right. You know, you could say what you want. And
now we're hearing that a challenge has been issued
by Tony Dungy. Here comes the play. It's the screen that worked so well last week. Roman Pfeiffer, Rodney Harrison, and
boy, that's not a good challenge.
Might as well, man.
Yeah, that's a hard case to win right there.
It is tough.
That one's a tough one. Teddy Bruschi, this linebacking core for the Patriots. We've been calling their names all day, Phil. Bruschi and Vrabel, McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis, Rodney Harrison. And, you know, I don't want to separate them from the rest of them because it's just been just what we said from the start, what they wanted, to be physical, to out-hit them. And they have been, and the challenge is, okay, he is not down. It is a fumble. No question about it, but
Indy challenging if Wayne was down before the fumble, and it shouldn't take too long to settle this case.
Well, I don't know. You know, I watched all the shows today leading up to this game, and there were quite a few people that still thought the Patriots might win it. But, you know, how can you go against what they have done?
But plenty of people did. Let's face it. Most people were talking up Colts. They felt it around here. You know, Bill Belichick told us they've really been almost put into an underdog role this week. And that's okay. We won 14 games. I don't know. We'll try the best we can. The other thing is, Tyrone Poole, Ty Law, that talk of those two being out, how would they adjust? Well, they've really been out almost the whole season, those two starting corners.
That was the first thing that Bill Belichick said to us. Hey, guys, you know, he kind of gave us a lesson. We've been this way most of the year. Well, I don't know what he's saying. I can't read lips, but he's saying it's going to be New England's ball.
So they've charged the Colts with the timeouts. 7 minutes to go, and the football at the 35 of Indianapolis. And New England inching closer to going back to the Steel City to try to make up for one of the 2 losses this year. That first loss of the season back on October 31st. They had run off 6 wins to open the season, and then the Steelers jumped on them 21-3 in the first quarter. And without Corey Dillon, they really had to ditch the running game that day. If you remember,
I think what they run for
6 attempts for 5 yards. The 6 attempts, the lowest since the Chicago Cardinals back in a game in 1933. And the 5 yards, an all-time franchise low. But again, no Dillon. Tom Brady telling us the following week when we were in St. Louis, we want to know the shot at those guys. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. You know, too, Jim, just to go back, you know, you talk about Teddy Bruschi, Mike Vrabel, there's Roman Pfeiffer, Ted Johnson, Willie McGinnis, all of them. You know, I think about this defense. It's built so much around those linebackers. Bill Belichick really made his name being a linebacker coach. He did it with the Giants. Got a pretty good group there. Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, Harry Carson, Pepper Johnson, who's now on his defensive staff. So he puts a lot of responsibility on them. And they're interchangeable guys. They can rush the passer. They can cover. They're big enough to stop the run. And they never let him down.
2nd down and 5. Dillon, another carry. Chased outside, and Bob Sanders comes up. 3rd and short coming. Again, Dillon so many times looks like he's going to be stopped for a loss or stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and the one he just ripped off down to the 1 looked like he was going to be stopped short of a first, and they'd have to bring out Vinatieri for a field goal try. Next thing you know, he's cut to the outside and set up the Brady touchdown.
Well, he's got deceptive speed. That play there just illustrated it. I thought he was going to get pulled down from behind, but he always seems to have just enough to get past that first guy to pick up, you know, that make a 2-yard gain into an 8-yard gain.
Over 200 yards rushing by New England. 3rd and short. It's Dillon. And again, was he down? Maybe. No. They'll give him the dive ahead for another 1st down.
It all goes hand in hand. They were able to stay with the running game, finally wear out a much smaller defense, I think, than their offensive line. Size-wise, they could be patient because their defense came through big time and stopped Peyton Manning in the high-scoring offense that we've seen for the whole year.
2-1, nearly 2-1 time of possession. I mean, the Patriots basically just took the 3rd quarter away.
Well, I heard the references to this would be like the Super Bowl that the Giants beat the Buffalo Bills in, where it was 40-20 in time of possession, and I said that's impossible. That could never happen in this game. The Patriots are. They can't do to this Colts team. The Colts are too good. You know, I don't like to admit it too often, but I was wrong.
Well, it's the first time all season.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's not too bad.
It took me a while.
2nd and 5 coming up with 4:20 remaining. And Dillon's over 140. Took him 9,696 yards from scrimmage before he ever made a playoff game. That's the most yards from scrimmage, most rushing yards also ever in the history of the league without being in a playoff game until today. Kevin Falk, what a boost he has been. Not much on that carry for Kevin Falk.
I'll tell you what it does, Jim. You just said that about Corey Dillon. I'll tell you, you know, an environment can change anybody. Always noted to be a troublemaker, a malcontent, all that stuff in Cincinnati. And he comes up here, and I don't know. I never doubted that he would not fit in up here just because I understand what they got going, how they operate. And, you know, you can't stand out with this team because all the other players will not let you. They don't speak out. They don't say the wrong thing to the press. And all those little things, they show up on the field for the New England Patriots.
It's 3rd and 6 as we approach 3 minutes to go. Coming in on Brady, and he is sacked back at the 35. It may take him out of field goal range. That's Larry Triplett for a 13-yard loss. Yeah, they're going to bring out, it looks like, Josh Miller, and a timeout called by the Colts. Triplett makes the play, knocks the Patriots back with 3:10 remaining.
Can inspiration read
what's in your wallet? And by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Manning warms up the hands. He'll be coming back out on the field here. But down 17 with only 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. The Triplett sack takes Vinatieri out of the equation. Pooch kick by Miller. Cherry is down there to cover it. So too is Bantakane, who falls on it at the 4-yard line. And again tonight begins with America's #1 news magazine, 60 Minutes, followed by a new cold case. CSI New York's on a special night tonight here on CBS, America's most watched network. Tom Brady throwing a touchdown and running for a touchdown in this half. And a trio of heroes, as they're known. 6 receptions, short yardage for Stokely. Harrison again, 3 grabs like he had in the AFC final last year. And Ty Law was on him. And now Reggie Wayne, his last grab led to a fumble. Hank Poteet is in at the bottom of the screen, just signed this week. He's in on Reggie Wayne. Manning looks that way, now throws it. And right at Poteet. How about this kid Poteet, 31, with a flag down? He was cut at the end of training camp by the Carolina Panthers. Watched the entire season at home on a couch on the sideline, only to be signed this week.
Prior to the pass, holding, 31, defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And there you go. He comes off the couch. He gets hit with a flag.
Got to shake off the rust.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer. We're going to hear from the winner, some of the winners here of today's game. They have no defensive linemen in on this play. Look at this formation. Brewski is right over the football.
Nobody is down in the stance yet. Oh, there goes the linebacker, Willie McGinnis. 2-man rush.
Manning to Stokely. Brown on the hit and others.
They are not going to give up the big pass. A couple things. Peyton Manning has actually thrown the football well today. He's been on target. Some drops, but nobody getting open deep and nobody catching the football and running for extra yards.
Vrabel at his feet, almost picked off by McGinnis. You could come up with some career highlights for McGinnis in games just against Indianapolis.
Gosh, I thought 4 years ago, I said, boy, Willie McGinnis, he's going to have a hard time hanging in much longer. He's getting, you know, maybe a step slow, all that, but he is recovered from injuries, and he is a perfect fit for this defense.
2nd down and 10.
All linebackers and defensive backs in the game.
Only 2 rushing. Manning, he's past the line now, and he slides the feet of Brewski. Manning actually had the 4th longest run of the year against the Patriots. A 19-yard scramble in the season opener. 2:09, trying to get one more play in before the 2-minute warning. Banta Kane in on him. Pass away to James. He spins out to the 37 for a first down as we reach the 2-minute warning here in Foxborough. 20-3, the champs.
It's kind of like an airbag.
An airbag?
Same at the airport, check an email. I drop my ThinkPad. It senses the drop. Hard drive braces for impact. Like an airbag.
So if I dropped it, it would just...
Brace for impact.
Oh, yeah?
That's not my notebook.
Check, please.
Klutz-proof wireless, only on a ThinkPad with Intel Centrino mobile technology.
You left Rusty alone in your apartment?
It's okay. I got him one of those shock collars.
Oh, that's so cruel.
No. It's part of his training.
Can I get you a Bud Light? My roommate's got some in the fridge.
Thanks, Rusty.
Cool.
Fresh, smooth, real. Bud Light.
So what's up? You want to hang in or you want to go?
It's all here.
Introducing the all-new 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee. With an available 330 horsepower Hemi V8, it has best-in-class horsepower and torque. The optional electronic stability program that helps maintain control on slippery roads. And available QuadraDrive 2, our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever. Go ahead, let it snow. Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus bonus cash for a total savings of up to $4,700 on Grand Cherokee.
Don Epps is an FBI agent. His brother Charlie is a math genius. They'll work together to solve crimes.
The violence has escalated. Everything is numbers.
But their dad has plans of his own.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your girlfriend?
I'm her thesis advisor.
Does that mean she can't be your girlfriend?
Numbers premieres next Sunday after football.
Again tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, Cold Case, CSI New York on a special night here tonight on America's most watched network. Average over 32 points a game. 4th highest scoring team in the history of the league in one season. Over 500 points. 49 a week ago, including 35 by halftime. Only a Vanderjagt field goal to close out the first half today. Ruski on the coverage. James just running backwards for the first down. Rodney Harrison had to come over and let everyone know he was in the area. Rodney Harrison telling us we're going to hit them, pile on them, make them pay. And I think he's lived up to it.
Oh, boy, he is something.
For the first down for the Colts, and it's Stokely for a short gain with Troy Brown riding him down. 3rd all-time receiver in the history of the Patriots franchise, riding down the 3rd leading receiver for the Indianapolis Colts this season. Another one that's a negligible gain to Marvin Harrison.
The hitting, everything is contested. The Colts last week almost 200 yards after the catch. Today, well under 100.
3rd and 1. And that's good for a first down. What do you say to people now? Peyton Manning, he didn't want to talk about the record all season long. He got the record, still lamenting that for him, it didn't mean anything if this didn't lead to a Super Bowl. Everybody's saying, you know, he can't win at New England. He's never won here. What happened?
Well, what happened is they just got manhandled, Jim, and it's not Peyton Manning's fault today. I have not seen receivers open down the field. Another good example.
Right there. He has been, let's face it, there's so many people that love the way he has been a spokesman for this league, Peyton Manning. New England and Pittsburgh on the way next week. AFC Championship game, 6:30 Eastern time from Heinz Field. Greg and the guys will be seeing them on the road. Dan and Shannon and Boomer, we look forward to their company and their pregame show. 6 o'clock Eastern time next Sunday here on CBS. The whole crew on hand for the big one, the big rematch. They again met on Halloween, and the Patriot win streak came to a close there, but they're not going to masquerade as any mediocre team this time when they go into Pittsburgh. This is no Halloween dress-up occasion. This will be for the right to go to the Super Bowl. Here we are looking back at the turnovers and that blitz they ran into in the very first quarter. It was 21-3, a couple of long strikes to Burris. Brady got picked, got run back by Deshae Townsend for a touchdown. And again, they really had to abort the running game without Dillon. And 34-20 was the final Pittsburgh.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say it's going to be a different New England team that goes to Pittsburgh next week.
Isn't it something, though, how Pittsburgh ended their win streak, including playoffs, at 21 games in a row. And now they themselves, Pittsburgh, they're on a win streak of 15 straight going into next Sunday. And that falls incomplete, intended for Clark. I was about to say, for Peyton Manning, he's had a year where he's been really such a spokesman for the league. So many people thinking this might be his year. And now you see the Steelers in their experience this season of 15 straight wins. Haven't lost at home since November '03. Their defense is first in the league. First in the league, fewest points allowed. And by the way, they'll meet the team that's number 2 in that category, the Patriots. It's Dallas Clark. He's fighting hard with 20 seconds left.
Well, Jim, good point. The 2 best scoring defenses will be there next week. The Colts, they tried to do it differently this year. It was all about their offense, but in this big game, they couldn't get it done.
There's the interception. Rodney Harrison. Rodney Harrison with the pick intended for Marvin Harrison. And what a fitting close to this one.
And look at the celebration on the New England Patriots sideline. That tells you what this game, well, of course, it meant a lot to them, but they got tired about hearing about it all week, about how they won't be able to defend their Super Bowl crown against an offense that can't be stopped.
It's going to be New England and Pittsburgh next Sunday in the Steel City. First pick of the day, Peyton Manning, Brewski with 2 fumble recoveries. By the way, although the schedule is not set, these 2 teams meet again next year right here in Foxborough. Tony Dungy again told his team when they lost the opener, guys, what this means is we'll have to come back here. And they had to come back with the weather elements again. And a total domination by Belichick and crew. That's why they're the champs. Subway post-game show is coming up.
Yeah, just what an impressive performance by the Patriots. They build themselves as a tough, physical football team. They came out to prove it. They did it here today against the Indianapolis Colts.
Tom Brady not talked about all this week.
That there's just too little of the world.
Everyone wants it. Basketball's got it. ESPN College Game Day starts.
Jim Nance, so long from Foxborough.
This is a Big Mac. It has 30 grams of fat. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but it's big, right?
Oh, is sponsored by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Subway Post-Game Show. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, and Boomer Esiason. Let's first fill you in on what's coming your way tonight here on CBS. 60 Minutes in the toughest part of Iraq when a group of Marines came under fire. 60 Minutes was with them. A rare look at the front line tonight. That's followed by an all-new Cold Case and CSI New York. On a special night, it's all here on CBS, America's most watched network. Next Sunday evening, we're taking the NFL Today on the road. We'll be on site in Pittsburgh at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, leading up to the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Steelers. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, 20-3 winners to advance to that game. Brady now a perfect 7-0 in postseason play. Our Bonnie Bernstein caught up with him.
Tom Brady, in a game where everybody was talking about the Colts offense, what was it about yours that made this day successful?
Well, I think our defense is what made this game successful. The way they played today, 3 points to, one of the best offenses in the history of football is incredible. We had a couple big touchdown drives during the second half, but what a win, man. What a win.
When the Steelers stopped your winning streak during the year, I knew how bad you wanted to get another shot at them. How much of a difference will having Corey Dillon in this game next week make?
Well, it shows you what Corey's capable of doing, but it's going to be our toughest game all year. We know what that team's all about, and pretty similar to ours. They're very tough, very hard-nosed, very physical, and going to that stadium's tough, too, so we got our work cut out.
All right, Tom, congratulations.
Thanks. Bye, Mom.
Congratulations indeed. As I said, Tom Brady, a perfect 7-0 in